A very good morning to you all, and I am Dr. Justin. Okay, so we will start our session. Of course, the content of our FTPs. First day we'll cover an overview of the image processing. Second day we'll go for image enhancement in spatial domain, and then spatial domain filtering on the third day. Fourth day we'll have a session on frequency domain filtering, and finally we'll conclude our FTP with an introduction to research methodology with an example from my own research, and all these intermediate papers, implementation, everything we'll speak of, and finally how we arrived at the new paper. That's what we are going to speak about. Okay. Of course, the objective is to provide the basics of image processing to the attendees, and of course, and this basic knowledge should lead to the latest trends of real world problems. And of course, to implement basic deep algorithms in MATLAB, to detail deep operations, and finally, individually, we will give you a spark for demonstrating your research skills in image processing. And today's content will discuss about applications of image processing and fundamental areas in digital image processing, image acquisition and digitization process, and finally, if time permits, surely we'll go for some MATLAB introduction, so that from next class onwards, you will be having better perspective of implementing different deep algorithms. To start the session, let us start with the difference between normal data processing and image processing. Of course, image processing is also a data processing method, but there are many differences from conventional data processing. Image processing, when it takes, even if there is some loss of information available, it is not a matter. But whereas for data processing, suppose somebody is having 1 lakh salary, and then for data compressing something, you are reducing 2 digits of it. So it is not acceptable. But that is not the case with image processing. For a compression technique or relative other techniques, even if you reduce the number of bits needed for storing the image, that won't much affect the image quality or even the perspective of the image. So that is a fundamental difference, and there are many other differences. And while going inside, we'll surely find out, because here in image, data are very closely spaced. Pixels will have similarity, but that is not the case with normal data processing systems. And of course, there are many similar terminologies like computer graphics, computer vision. And first of all, what is the difference between computer graphics and computer or image processing? Computer graphics will generate artificial images, whereas image processing will process naturally captured images. Okay. So now, computer vision, normally in the sense, image processing, people will tell the basic areas like image enhancement and image restoration, compression and fusion, all these things, where the input of image processing system is a normal pixel by pixel image, and the output is also an image. But in the case of computer vision, when you speak, the input will be, of course, an image, and you do some image processing techniques and other things, and finally arrive at a decision or arrive at a representation or arrive at a description or something else, which means here you make inferences. Okay, so computer vision is applied for signal processing, pattern recognition, descriptive, and of course machine learning, data fusion, all these things. Collectively, but since image processing and computer vision are both very much correlated. So in 1964, with the Samuel Morse telegraph invention, the information technology go wide spectrum of information transfer that include that in late 20th century has huge demand of data transfer. Paved way for many applications like, say, the satellite image for a weather forecasting agency or a geographical report for a cartographer, MRI scans for a doctor, or fingerprints for a security professional are all prime information sources. And they use this data for illustrating, diagnosing, identifying. And of course, image processing is applied on all spheres of science, engineering, medical, agricultural, security, remote sensing, sciences. All these places you will find applications of image processing. And literally speaking, you cannot identify an area which cannot be, where image processing cannot be applied. So now let us go for, specifically going for some applications of image processing. Okay. So the first application is robotics. So in robotics, digital image processing helps to avoid obstacles while robots move, and of course finding an optimal path for movements, and even for classifying objects to hold and work with objects. They can identify the particular object, say screws or nuts or something. They can easily identify and capture it and then fit it in the correct place. All these applications are some examples of robotic applications, and of course many applications. Of course, half the brain of a robotic system mostly will be image processing based algorithms. Now let us go for medical diagnosis and treatment. So if somebody goes to the hospital, you can find that everywhere it is CT scan, MRI scan, ultra scan. All these scans are X-rays. All these things are images being processed. And nowadays, you can find that image processing algorithms makes the decision of identification of tumors, the child position in the mother's womb. All these things they will do by algorithms. Now the doctor only need to confirm whether the machine decision is correct or not. And even now you can find pinhole camera operations like painless operations where very small camera being inserted in human body, and then with the help you will make the operations. And which means that the operations are now being like a normal game playing for a doctor. And you can find that, say, nowadays the doctor may be sitting in US and he can make an operation in India virtually through internet, through cameras and image processing techniques. So this can be used for identifying tumors and all these things, and I'm just going for next area, which means that majority of medical diagnosis system largely depends image processing or image processing allied subjects. When you go for automated inspection or quality inspection of products in industries, we always have computer vision system or machine vision systems used. Say, for example, it is used for labeling, identifying labeling defects in products, sorting products of different categories, even the defects of screws, machineries, machinery parts, and even for pulleys, all these things you will find it. So there is a huge jump in the productivity of industries because of computer vision or image processing based algorithms. When you go for surveillance, these images from surveillance cameras around us and even on us in our vehicles are used for, say, you can represent, for identifying or recognizing objects. I have given a picture in that many types of recognition and even monitoring system being used in our day-to-day life. It is for surveys and of course counting the number of objects in a street and identifying obstacles in the way of vehicles, so unmanned vehicles, and even for other things also we use for image processing applications. When you go for biometric-based personality identification, it can be a fingerprint, or it can be an iris, it can be a palm, it can be a your lips, or your personal features can be identified using image processing techniques. Now let us go for, and of course, almost all spheres, almost all computer vision-based systems apply digital image processing algorithm in all stages to achieve the goal. Okay. So now coming to the subject. So far we were discussing about the application and the applicability of image processing in the real world problems. So now let us go for what exactly the areas available in image processing. The first area is image acquisition and digitization. Image acquisition means it is a process of capturing a digital image, capturing a natural image, and then digitizing it to any digital format so that this digitized image can be processed by a digital computer. And this process, this is the first area available in digital image processing. And then comes enhancement, restoration, compression, segmentation, representation, and recognition. All these things we will go a little detail. So image enhancement means it is a process of modifying an image for a specific application, which means that a modification technique or an enhancement technique suitable for one application may not be suitable for another application, which means it is highly subjective. Okay. And now let us go for restoration. So enhancement is nothing but just modifying the image. You can see from the example given in the slide. Image restoration means it's a process of recovering or reconstructing a degraded image by using the priori knowledge about the degradation phenomena, which means that suppose somebody going to the doctor, he will give the medicine according to the disease, which means that for a particular disease, he will give you a particular medicine. And the medicine which the doctor gives for one disease may not be suitable for the other diseases, may or may not be. So which means that image restoration technique applicable for one type of degradation may not be suitable for another types of degradations. Okay. So which means that it is like a medicine developing company. Say he will make a medicine and he will claim that this medicine is useful for this particular disease. The same way, image restoration means, suppose in this image I have given one salt and pepper impulse noise image, and the restoration technique apply in this image to get this image may not be suitable for the second image. This is a scrapped image, and then from that it is being reconstructed to this form. So degradation, now image restoration is highly objective. Okay, this is dependent, whereas image enhancement is highly application dependent. So that you have to be very specific. So image enhancement, modifying an image, modifying the image, whereas image restoration, recovering an image. Now comes to image compression. Everybody know the compression. Okay. Compression means it's nothing but reducing the number of bits needed for storing the image. It is very, it is a huge applicability, because now we are using internet very frequently, which means an image, if it is not compressed, it will jam up in your entire bandwidth, and then even if say you have 3 GB or 4 GB of data per day, that will be finished in little minutes. So an accepted standard, I tell you, JPG and all the other things, say TIFF, all these things apply different types of compression technique. I have given an image, and from this image it is being compressed. Say it is 8.9 MB in the left side, and the right side it is being compressed to 68.34 KB, which means that there is a huge amount of compression, but still you can find that the quality of image is not being reduced much in the normal case, but if you zoom the image, you can find the differences. Now, image segmentation. Image segmentation is the process of grouping or isolating homogeneous or even heterogeneous areas in the image. So, for example, if it is a normal segmentation which I have given here, say here you can see many images. From that we are segmenting the particular objects that you can identify. That is grouping or isolating homogeneous areas in image. But in the case of edge reduction, what you do is you will highlight the area where you have more differences. Say for example, if you take this picture, these are the edges of the tiger. Okay, so which means that the pixel in the places where it is an object pixel, but it has some non-object neighbor, then there is an edge. Okay, so there is a huge difference. So that kind of techniques isolates non-homogeneous areas. Okay, so image segmentation means it is dividing or isolating or grouping images according to homogeneous or inhomogeneous criteria. Image representation. Say for example, say if there is a cat, we identify a cat. So how it is possible? It is possible because when you see cat first time, you have extracted the features of the cat and you have stored it in your memory. Okay. So this process of extracting the features of an object and then storing it in the memory, we call it as image representation. And next time when you see a cat, you will identify that it's a cat. How it is possible? Because once again you try to extract the features from the cat object and then try to match with already stored features in your memory. So when there is a match of this, you can easily tell that it is a cat. The identifying the object is called image recognition. And even assigning label to an object with the proper image description, we call it as image recognition. Okay, so identifying, say this, in this picture, they identify the faces. Okay, it is not identifying the particular or recognizing the particular person, but identifying also, we put it inside the basket of image recognition. So from the beginning, these are the major important areas. This everybody has to be familiar with. So I am just giving you 1 second recall. Image acquisition, capturing the image. Image enhancement, modifying the image for specific application. Image representation, restoration, it is the process of recovering the image. Compression, reducing the number of bits. Segmentation, grouping or isolating homogeneous or even inhomogeneous pixels. And then image representation is a process of extracting the features and storing it in the memory. And image recognition identifies or label an object. So now let us go for the first area which we told, which is nothing but image digitization. Okay, image digitization, of course, we told it as it is a process of capturing a natural image and then digitizing it. And let us go for the process. So the source, the image to be captured, we first brighten up using a light source. Okay, and the reflected rays from this we capture using a CCD or a charger coupled device camera or even Vidicon camera or any optical sensor. And then by the property, when light incident on these kind of CCD charger coupled devices, it will start emitting which is nothing but current. According to, say, if there is a white place, the corresponding sensor will give you maximum voltage because by the property of white, it will reflect maximum, whereas by the property of black, it will absorb more and it will not reflect much. So according to the reflection, the voltage will be high or low. And using this, say for example, the voltage level is 0 to 5, and now our case is this 0 to 5 voltage, we need to digitize it to particular bits or particular samples. So sampler, what it do is, it will select number of samples from, of course we will deal all these things in the forthcoming slides. Sampler will select the number of samples. Say if this is object, in this case we have 4 rows and 4 columns. So totally we have 16 pixels only we sample it. And then quantization deals with how many bit you are going to allocate to store each pixel in this. Okay. So correspondingly, say if you take this pixel, all of these are white. And then from this, it is when it is digitized, it will be clearly white. And then here means half white or half black or something. So accordingly, the color will be here. So there will be a point spread function. Say infinitely, all the reflection from infinitely large point on this small place will be captured by the sense. So image digitization involves in two processes. One is sampling and another one is quantization. Sampling means I already told you, say for example, this is not an image, it's only a signal. Okay, the basic difference between signal and image is image is two-dimensional function, whereas signal is a one-dimensional function, time-varying function. This is a spatially varying function. The other one is a time-varying function. So now, if this is a signal, sampling means the number of samples which you are going to select. So that deals with the samples. If you select more number of samples from it, the clarity of the signal will be more good. So sampling means literally it is a process of digitizing the spatial coordinates. So spatial coordinates here means number of samples in this space. Whereas quantization means how many number of bits you are going to allocate for each pixels or each samples. If you allocate one pixel or one bit per sample, you have only two colors or even two possibilities. Either it can be a 0 or it can be a 1. 0 means in the case of image it's a black, 1 means it will be white. So in this case we call the particular image as binary image. Okay. Suppose if you allocate 2 bits, you will get, you have 4 colors, say 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So same way, if you allocate 8 bit, you will have totally 256 colors. Okay, so 0 to 255 will be the values. 0 we call it as a black and 255 we call it as white. So finally, after sampling and quantization, an image is viewed as a matrix. Say this is the top left corner pixel and this is the bottom right corner of the array. So something like this you will get a matrix and these values will describe the color at the particular position. So now, so far we are talking about what exactly is the application, what exactly, how to capture the image, all these things. So now, coming to the definition of image. Image is a light intensity, two-dimensional light intensity function, f of xy defined by into r of xy, where I of xy is the illumination. Illumination means how much of amount of light you are producing to brighten up the object to be captured. So that is called illumination. So illumination can vary from 0 to infinity, whereas your reflection means how much amount or how much percentage of light incident on it being reflected back. If it is 100%, which means white, or exactly 100%, means it will reflect all lights. If it is 0 means it will absorb all light and it will not reflect anything. So illumination into reflectance. So you can see that when image will have a higher value, when illumination is very good and reflectance is also very good. Suppose illumination is maximum, there is no reflection, a black space, it will appear as black. Suppose even if the reflection is in a white place, in the night you see it as a black place, which means that there is no illumination. So it is a combination of illumination and reflectance. So illumination will be in the range 0 to infinity. So that can be, say, sun having, then the illumination, you cannot exactly define. So it will be an infinity state. Whereas reflectance is in the range 0 to 1. So 0 means no reflection. 1 means maximum reflection. And technically, you cannot get exact 0 or exact 1 or exact 0 here or exact infinity here. Now let us go for gray level. Gray level means it deals with the color of the monochrome image. Okay. So now, suppose if you allocate 2 bits, it will be 2 power 2. So it will be 4 colors you will be having. Okay. So which means that you have 0, 1, 2 and 3. If you allocate 8 bit, you will have 0, 1, 2 up to 255. So totally you will have 256 colors. So which is nothing but 2 power 8. Okay. So the 0 to 255, we call it as the gray level of the image. Okay. When practical classes comes, we can see it. Now, say for example, after digitization, what we get is, we will have, suppose if this is the area being taken, and it will give you a matrix like this, which means that the topmost corner having a color 99. Okay, so this is a 8-bit image. So 99 means it is not exactly black, that is 0, or not exactly the white, which is nothing but 255. If here it was 255, it would have been a clear white color. Now it is 99, which means it is half black, half white. So it is, we call this as gray color, gray value. Okay. So all these things represent the gray level value at the area here. Okay. Now this is a typical example. This was the objective we captured. We made it a sample, samples like this. So here all these colors being approximated to a particular color here. So the matrix consists of this much rows and this much columns only. When you display, you will get it like this. When you increase the samples, you will get more and more realistic picture. Now, when come to digitization, the major term used is resolution. The resolution can be the sampled resolution, or it can be a gray level resolution. Sample resolution means how much samples you are going to take it. Say for example, here you can see that the image being captured with the samples of 10,024, 10,024, and it is being reduced by 2 in each step. And finally, we arrived at 32 cross 32, which means that the samples are 32 rows and 32 columns. So you can, when the sampling rate being reduced, you can see that there are checkerboard effects in the picture. Okay, so the same thing will happen if you zoom the image also. So now let us go for, and this is called spatial or sampling resolution. Okay, spatial or sampling resolution. Now let us go for gray level or pixel resolution, which means that how many bits per pixel you are going to allocate for each pixel. So now, say if you have gray level 16, which means your number of bits you are going to use is 2 power 4. Okay, 2 power 4. And here, so 4 bits you are allocating, you will have 16. Suppose if you allocate only 3, you will have, number of gray levels will have 8. Suppose it is only 2 bits, 2 power 2 will give you 4. And if you allocate only 1 bit, it is 1 power, it will be 2 power 1, you will have 2 colors, either 0 or 1. Okay. So now, this is the image being captured with 16 gray level, which is using 4 bits. This is 3 bits, this is 2 bits, and this is only 1 bit. So 4 bits somewhat okay. So when it comes, you can find that there are some false contouring forming in the image. Okay. So that is a problem of less gray level resolution. I feel that you got an idea of what exactly is spatial or sampling resolution and gray level resolution. Now let us go for the relationship of pixels. Okay. The first relationship is neighboring relationship. Okay. So neighbors means the people who are living nearby. Okay. So in this case, the same way, then in the case of image, it is the pixels packed nearby. So that is called neighbor of a particular pixel. So the first relationship is a 4 neighbors of P denoted by N4 of P are nothing but, suppose this is the pixel being taken, the neighbors of P are, the 4 neighbors of P are the pixel lying above, below, left and right. So pixel in the above, top, bottom, left and right. Okay. So which means that if this is the row X, this row will be, of course, X minus 1. This row will be X plus 1. This is, if this is the column, this is Y, this is Y, this is going to be Y minus 1 and this is going to be Y plus 1. So the pixels are X minus 1 Y, X comma, so this is top, this bottom, left and right. So this is X minus 1 Y, X, Y minus 1, X comma, Y plus 1 and finally Y. These 4 are called the 4 neighbors. Okay. Now ND of P, there is a mistake, it's diagonal neighbor. ND of P. Okay. Diagonal pixels are, suppose this is the pixel which is considered, its diagonal pixels are the pixels that lie in the corners. So you can just take this pixel position, X minus 1, Y plus 1, X plus 1, Y minus 1, X minus 1, Y plus 1. These are the diagonal. N8 means it is nothing but the union of N4 of P and ND of P. Okay. So you will get all the 8 neighbors. Okay. These are the neighboring relationship available in image processing in the of pixels. Now let us go for adjacency. Say for example, 2 people may be neighbors, but they may not be adjacent unless they have some other basic common relationship to share. So for the relationship, we define a set here V. Say for example, if it is a black and white image, we set the V for a white pixel. So that is 1. The set of V, the V is equal to 1. Only the value V is the 1 only belongs to V. 0 does not belongs to the set V. So now we have 2 conditions. So the first one is, let us see for 4 adjacency. 2 pixel P and Q with values from V. So both the values of P and Q should have value 1, value is equal to 1, and they are 4 neighbors. Okay, to each other. So are 4 adjacent if Q is in the set N4 of P. If and only if it is, okay, it's not if and only if reverse is also true. Okay. So not only they are 4 neighbors, but also their values also belongs to the set V. The same way 8 adjacency, 2 pixel P and Q with values from V. The values should be from V and they should be 8 neighbors. Okay. M adjacency means mixed adjacency. So what exactly is, say take 2 pixels, this pixel and this pixel. Okay. Say both of them, so this pixel is also 1. This is also 1, this also 1. So what happens is, if you take 8 neighbors, this is an 8 neighbor of this. Okay. Suppose here it is 0, which means that this is not a 4 adjacent of this pixel. We will take this. Suppose this pixel value is also 1, then what will happen is, you both will have a common 4 neighbor, correct? This pixel and this pixel will have a common 4 neighbor. That case, we will not consider this as a mixed adjacent of this pixel. Okay, let us have an example in the next slide. So this is the meaning, literally meaning. So 2 pixel P and Q with values from V are M as adjacent. If Q belongs to N4 of P, straight away we will not have any cases. We will directly go for both of them are in the M adjacency. We will fix it. Suppose if the Q is in N diagonal, that time we check whether there is anything common between P and Q in 4 neighbors. Okay, that is N4 of P intersection N4 of Q should be empty. That time only that both pixels we say that they are M adjacent. Say for example, I will take this example. Let this be P, Q R and S. Okay. Let us take P and PQR. So this is R. Okay. So now, and the set V is equal to 1. Okay. Set V is equal to 1. So now what we do is, when we take this pixel and this pixel, it is 8 adjacent, no problem. But mixed means N4 of this P, Q also in the N4 of P. And the same Q is in the N4 of P of R also. So which means that we will not, this is 8 neighbor, correct, okay. But this case, we will not consider this as mixed connected. These are all mixed connected, but this pixel, this path will not be there. Which means that while traversing pixels in image, we attempt to reduce the duplicate paths. Okay, so this way we can go, we are avoiding this path. So that is why connectivity. Connectivity and adjacency, only difference is, in adjacency it has to be neighbors, but in the case of connectivity, there should be path between 2 pixels. Okay. It can be 4 connected or it can be 8 connected. 4 connected means everything will be moving in the 4 neighbor fashion. The pixels will be moving. Whereas 8 connectivity means it will be moving in the NA, 8 adjacency or 8 neighbors. Okay. So now let us go for another property which is called the distances. Everybody is familiar with. Say you have x1, y1 and x2, y2. Euclidean distance is nothing but square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. The same formula which is given in P and Q. So which is nothing but the space for P is x comma y, and the place of Q is S and T. So it is nothing but square root of x minus s the whole square plus y minus t the whole square. So this is called normal Euclidean distance which you use. But in the case of image, we have another distance measure called city block distance, which is nothing but absolute of x minus s plus y absolute of y minus t. So in this case, suppose this pixel if you take, okay, so suppose this is 0, 0 and this is 2, 0 or something, or even minus 2, 0. So the space is, here we have, say suppose reaching here, what we have is, this is for 4 neighbor only, no, that is D for distance, 4 distance it is. So suppose if you want to move here, you have to move here and then you have to move here. Suppose if you move here, it is not, diagonal movement is not allowed. So we should first move here to and then here. So 2 distance. Here also in the same course, either this direction you should move or this direction. So this is called city block distances. And now D8 distance, which is not chessboard distance. So which means you will take the maximum, which means suppose if you go here 0 to, suppose from this place to you have to go to this place, means distance is you can directly go from here to here. You need not go here and go. The same way, if you want to go from here to here, you can go here and then go here. So 2 movements are there. So it is distance is 2. So now for this short session, so we will go for an introduction to, this is what today's overview I am going to provide. And then now let us go for some MATLAB exercises. Mana? Another. அவங்களுக்கா Hmm? We are on a So MATLAB for image processing is a very powerful tool. Okay, and you will find lots of functions in it, and implementing an image processing algorithm in MATLAB, it is very useful. Okay, so now let us see what are the advantages of MATLAB in the perspective of image processing or other things, other applications. The first of all, it has an ease of use. Say, for example, if you try to read an image, in the case of Java or any other types of languages, you have to specify the dimension and you have to deal with the overflow, underflow problem, all these things. And it will make your programming much, much difficult. But in the case of, in MATLAB, you just give only one command, IM read, suddenly the image will be read, and whatever variable you give, the image will be assigned to that particular variable. And next is, it is platform, the code which you write, or it is completely platform independent. It will be same for all Windows, Linux, Unix, and Mac. And even the M file which you take from here will be run at any versions, any operating system versions like Windows, Linux, Unix, or Mac. And we have a huge number of predefined functions and toolboxes. This I will show you when MATLAB is opened. Say here, if you go in the help, so these are all different toolboxes: aerospace, bioinformatics, communication, computer vision, control system, curve fitting, something like this. You will find more than some 50, 100 toolboxes. In that, what we are going to use is image processing toolbox. So you can find it, image processing toolbox. And we have another toolbox also, image acquisition toolbox. So like that, MATLAB contains huge number of toolboxes. Okay, so which we can facilitate for any metrics-based computation. Okay, so metrics-based scientific computation. And of course, it can make graphical user interface. Okay, say, suppose somebody is interested in graphical user interface, they can make it as, say here, their own graphical user interface. You can make it, say something like this. So I'm going to create a new guy, blank one, and it will come like this. So you can make a button here, you can make whatever it may be, you can make the menu also, you can, what do you call, you can, if you run it, you can see that automatically the callback functions will be created, and then so see here, you can. So you can create GUIs, and of course in your versions it will be little different, and when it comes I will give you it exactly. And of course MATLAB has its own compiler, and and then it is a high performance language for technical computing. And it has huge computation capability, visualization. You have huge number of plotting examples. You have programming in easy to use environment. That all we'll see how it works in the later on slides. So MATLAB, of course, it contains a high level, it's a high level matrix language, which is nothing but the MATLAB language. The MATLAB working environment, which means you have 2 tools for huge number of tools for developing and of course managing, debugging and profiling your application. Handling graphics. So for handling graphics, you have good amount of data visualization, plotting, and of course image displays, animation and presentation graphics tools available in MATLAB. MATLAB is famous for its function library. Say, whenever there is a new function or something comes in the research space, automatically MATLAB will be accommodating these functions. Say like interpolation functions, statistical functions, your basic scientific functions, and then image specific functions. All these things are freely available in MATLAB library, so that you need not worry about programming all these things. And then application programming interface I told you and I have shown you. And of course, there is another facility you have. Suppose if you want to take your code as exe, you can make it, and you can write your program in C or Fortran, old programs, then and that programs also can be taken as interacting MATLAB. Okay, so it has huge number of applications. So now let us see, when you open your MATLAB window, because I have closed the major of this, which is not much useful for me, so that's why it is only showing workspace and command window. Okay, so let us see what are the windows and what are the things available in the MATLAB GUI. Okay, say you have file, editor, debugger, desktop, Windows, help, all these things. Okay, so you all know this. Let us concentrate only on the windows. So this is called the command window. In command window, you can type any single or a group of commands. Okay, and then execute it. And when you execute it, automatically the variables which you make here will come in the workspace. So workspace is very easy. Workspace is very, very important, because when you have a variable here, if you want to see the value of that particular value, you can just go to the workspace, double click the particular variable, you can see the value. Okay, and then another window which you have is current directory. So which directory you are now. Suppose if you open a program from another directory and run, normally in the case of Java, you have to set path once again. Set path once again. But in the case of this, automatically change the path. It will ask yes. If you give, automatically it will go to it will run the program. So it is very, very easy. And then command history. Say for example, it is highly frequent that when you use commands, and that particular commands may be used in the future also. So that command, just make double click here, automatically it will run in the command window. So for that only we have command histories. Okay, that history number of things also you can set, and then file, font, everything you can make, and then window you can select how many windows, all these windows you, and then another window type window is figure window. I will show you during the exercises. Okay. Figure window, and then other windows are, so the command window we spoken about. Figure window. Figure window means to open a particular figure. It can be a plot, it can be an image display, or it can be a graphical display, or it can be in the plot itself you have 2D plot, 3D plot, surface plots, all types of plotting available in MATLAB, which is for data visualization. I couldn't find any any good software than MATLAB. And of course your editor window. Editor window means, normally I told you about command window. Command window, the problem is you cannot save that work directly, or you cannot write it as a full program or something. That time what you do is you open an editor window, and then in that editor window you type the program and then save it at your location. Okay, and then help window I have already opened for you. Help window give you all. It is not like conventional other languages. Suppose if you go to image processing, you can go here, getting started with image processing. Say for example, here you can go for examples. Say here directly you will go to the examples. So how to read and then how to show all these things one by one, it will be there. And of course the description also there, examples also there, which means you can easily learn. There is no need of a teacher. Okay, so you can easily learn by yourself using the help. And the help provided is not like other language helps. Even Python, the basic problem is when you work in Python and you take your code to some place and if the version is different, you have to change the entire code. But for MATLAB, you always will have compatibility, better compatibility with versions after versions. Only thing is higher versions, some functions. Say for example, if you use interpolation function, advanced interpolation functions, and that advanced interpolation function may not be working in lower versions. So that kind of problem can be there. But in from a lower version to higher version, all will be supported. And the operators, you all know, plus, minus, star, all these things you know. Cap is for power. And colon. Colon you can make it as, so each one say, we will see all these things. And semicolon is for ending statements into the row. And if you don't put semicolon, what will happen? It will print that particular variable value. Okay. So array circuit, you can make it as comma and then dot dot dot. This is for continuing lines. Okay. So suppose if you cannot type your operation in one line, you can make dot 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 and then enter. In the second line, you can continue. So it will be taken by the MATLAB compiler as one equation. Okay. So percentage denotes a comment. You can make comment and specifies output format, all these things. Okay. Single quote means transpose, you can make it by single quote. So equal to of always it is assignment operator. And then you have parenthesis, encloses element of arrays in array. Say that and all we'll see how to use parenthesis, all these things. And then square bracket, say suppose if you are defining a matrix, you use colon. Say for example, here I will just show you. I am declaring here A is equal to an array. Say. So if you put semicolon, it will not be printed. Suppose if you didn't make it put a semicolon, it will be printed. Going to put semicolon, the difference is it will not be printed. Okay. So suppose if I want to access the second element, unlike other languages like C and Java, the array index in MATLAB starts from 1. It is not from 0. Suppose it is the second element if you want to make, you can access it by A of 2, which means 7 will be printed. Suppose if you give semicolon, it will not be printed. So for that, I am not purposely not putting semicolon here. So 7 is A of 2. The same way, if you want to access a two-dimensional matrix, suppose this is B is equal to you can make it as something like this one. And if you want to see the variable, what I told you, just to go here, double click it, automatically the window will be opened. So here you can see, I'll use here. You want to access this element which corresponds to B of second row, comma, second column. So this is why, and ahead of that, we have one more operator here, one more character here, say the braces. Okay, say for example, if you declare say C is equal to cell of 2, 3. So what exactly it means is, it will create a cell array of 2 rows and 3 columns. So you can see this. So now, the advantage of the cell array concept, suppose if you want to, in the 1 place, this place, you can in the 1 place, you can declare a character or store a character. And the second place, you can make a double variable. Here you can make another, here you can store another cell array, which is a tree type. So let us see how it works. Say, I'm going to make it as, so here addressing, one has to use the brace, not the 1, 1. What I am going to do is, I am going to store a character or my name. To string you have to give in the single quotes. Okay. Semicolon if you give, it will be printed, otherwise it will not. So now, here is the string. And the second place, what I am going to do is, unlike other languages, what I am going to do is, there is no need of any homogeneous type of array, means it is a collection of homogeneous items. So, but in this case, what I am in the second place, what I am going to give is I am going to give another matrix. Or let us give here this A matrix. What is the size of A matrix? 1 row and 3 columns. Okay. So A, I have given it. Okay. So here 1 row and 3. So double. In the third place, what I am going to do is, here in the third place, first row and third column, what I am going to give is a matrix of size 2, 3, right? So that is, what is that? Which variable that is? The variable is B. So I am going to make it. So now, okay, so it is 2, 3. So now, how to access this? Suppose I want to access the second element from this. So how can I access? So C of, it is in the first row and second column. So 1 comma, that is closed. And now, what I am going to access? Second element means it is going to be the first row, second column. Accessed. You can even give here, instead of 1 first row, you can omit this also, then also it will work. So now, the same way, how to access the row third element? C of 1, 3 here. This is the third structure. In this, from this matrix, we need to access 3, right? So last element will be taken. So this element. This is the last element. Clear? Suppose if I, once again, if I go here, say C of 2, 1, what I am going to do is, I am going to give C. So I get the same data structure I have saved here. So understand here? Suppose if I want from here, from this, I have this much. Correct or not? The same thing, it will be stored. Whatever time it was storing, so this was the thing. I want to access from this, second this one, and second level type of. So let us say here, So up arrow, it will give you say 1, 3. So here it is 2, 1. Inside 2, 1, what I am going to do? Inside 1, 3. So once again, curly bracket 1, 3. And in that, I am going to take first row, second element. Understand? How it is being dereferenced. So, in other languages, it is huge. You have to make tree traversal, even if you know. And first of all, it is very difficult for you to save heterogeneous data in a single array like this. And accessing the data, even if you use pointers in C++, you have to traverse in tree and visit each element by any of the 3 types of visiting, tree visiting. Okay. So pre-order, post-order, or in order. So it will take huge time from. Okay. So now let us go for another slide. So all these things you can try at your home. You can make pi. Pi is 1 or 2. I will just work it out here, and I will go for some problems, and then I'll give you some 10 minutes for open discussion and winding up the today's lecture. Okay. So pi, if you give, automatically it will be multiplied. Say suppose if I so area is equal to 2 into pi. Instead of writing 3.1416 all these things, you can simply write 2 pi into some radius. Say 20 is a radius, means 20 is a radius. So we calculate. So it is very easy. Like that, you have constants and then imaginary unit and square root of infinity and not a number. Suppose in this case, when you are processing data with huge uncertainty, some places may be empty. So that time it will come as not a number. Divide it by, it will give you as infinity or something. Okay, so on all these things, zeros. Okay, so suppose if I want to I had to initialize an array, say A, B, C, D. So D is equal to, I can make it as zeros of pi, 3, which means it will be the array D will be initialized by zeros. What will be the size? Size will be 2 rows and 3 columns. So you can see I have, let's see here. Here, 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is called your variable window. This is very, very important. And major advantage of MATLAB is directly you can visualize the data. Okay. So, and you can see when a formula is applied or an enhancement technique being applied or whatever processing you apply, you can directly see the exact changes in the pixel values in the variable window. Okay. So like this, all these things you can practice at your home. ABS. ABS means it will give you absolute value. But if it is a complex number, it will give you the what do you call the spectrum. Right. Maximum, minimum. And in maximum also you should find out something. Say, suppose here you are having array 2. Say if you take minimum of A, okay, minimum of A, it will give you, say, out of 278, 2 is the minimum. But minimum of B, what will happen? We have 2 rows and 3 columns, which means for each column it will find out the minimum and you will get a row matrix. So see something like this. Suppose if you want to find out the entire minimum of the minimum of the entire array, what you have to do is you have to type minimum, apply minimum 2 times. So now all rows, all columns you will take it. Okay. The first minimum will give you the minimum in each column, and then final minimum will give you the final row minimum. So it will give you the final value. So like this, same is applicable for maximum and other things, eigenvalue. And of course, this is another thing. Say dot star and dot division, dot power, all these things you will find. Okay. So this is element-wise multiplication. Suppose I have a matrix here. Here it is 2 cross 3. So B, that is D. I am going to declare a matrix in the same size. Okay. So same size E, say 3, 7. Okay, so open square bracket. Space also you can give, comma also. But each row will be divided when you give the semicolon. Okay. Semicolon is used for next row. Okay. So 3, 5. Values. Okay. So here you can give semicolon either, or even if you didn't give, it is not a problem. So now you have E here, you have B here, right? So both of them having same size. So now what I want is, I want element-wise multiplication. Say for example, this one multiplied by this one, this second element multiplied by second element, something like this. So how to make this? I can make it easily, or it will the normal multiplication, and you can make column to column or row to column. That is also possible. Okay. So now here I am going to make it as CC, another variable, is equal to dot star. Okay. A dot star B. Okay. So what will happen? So here, no, B is different. Okay. So A, not A, it is B star. Okay. So now, what exactly happened? 3 into 2, you got it? 6. 7 into 7, 49. So this is called element-wise multiplication. And for scalar multiplication, say CC1, you can declare it as 2 into. So automatically it will take every element in B will be multiplied by 2. So that's it. Okay. So you will find it very easily. So division also you can apply. Say the previous case, instead of this, for all these things you can very easily apply. That's also possible. So at home, install MATLAB, try to practice all these things. I have just put sine, cos, all these things. Okay. Sine, okay, seal. Seal is, say, seal of 2.4 is, round of 2.5 is, and 2.5 is 3, and seal of 2.5 is 2. And all these things, so you know, basically you are from computer science background, and all these comparison operators. Okay, tilt operation is not for not. Okay, not equal to this is. Okay, and this is not operator, and this is and operator. Greater than, you know, all these things you are familiar with. Okay. So now let us go for the next slide. Okay. So variable declaration, I already told you. Okay, some command you need to be familiar. So all these things I will tell you. Who will display, say, suppose one variable. Say here I am telling, say, who says that cell variable, one cell variable. Okay, see. So this the variables are C. Okay, so the properties, all these things will be displayed. Okay, so that's very important. And then who's also. And I have given for you, okay, to do at home. You can very easily do this. Say for example, first I will, from here I will just clear all variables. The 3 commands which we told, okay, one is clear all. Clear all means all the variables in the workspace will be cleared. Clear? Clear all means, suppose it is only clear A, only the variable A will be clear. Now there you can check here, there is no A. Okay. Suppose if you want to clear 2 variables A and B, you can give space. So now two variables will be cleared, A and B. Okay, suppose three variables, something like this you can take. So all variables, if you want to flush out the memory, so what you can do? Okay, semicolon if you give or not giving, that is not a matter in this case. So all the variables are, so you get a fresh slate in the space. So now all these commands are here, right? So I want to clear the screen. So it is nothing but CLC. So CLC means clear screen. It is not like C and Java. Okay. So it is clear. Okay. Now, if you have opened a window, okay, and if you want to clear or close that figure windows, okay, then you can mark it as close all also. You can type. In this case, there is no figure window. I will show you when it comes. So close all, if you give, automatically it is. Whenever you start a program, always clear out all variables in the memory. Otherwise, what will happen is you may use same variable and the old values will be existing and then that will give you miscalculation and you will not find where exactly is the error is. So three commands when you start a program are clear all, close all, and CLC. Okay. So I am giving you practice all these things at home. And I will go to some, so it is all taken from internet only, but you can very easily do this. If you have any doubt in the email, you can send the doubts. Okay. So now let us, for this time, for we have another 10 minutes. So for 10 minutes, we will work it out, this example programs. Okay. So with the for loops, while loops, all these things we can try. Okay. So create a matrix of 15, 15 and initialize it with 0. I already told you what to do here. A is equal to zeros. I already told you. Zeros of 15 rows and 15 columns. Semicolon, if you don't give, it will not be printed. Okay. So now you can see that you have initialized a variable of size 15 columns, 15 rows and 15 columns. Okay, and all these places. Say, suppose if you want to initialize all these another array with the same thing, but once you can use another function which is called once. Okay. Once of 15, 15. Okay, sorry, this is another variable I am going to give. So all these things are ones. Suppose if I want to initialize all these things with tens, what should I do? Any other idea? It is just simple. Just multiply this by 10 and give it. So we can see that all these things. Yes. So these are all programming basics. Okay. So now let us go for the next program. Okay, to perform sorting and input array. Okay, so inbuilt function is also there because since we have 5 minutes, I will try to make the program also. Say here we have say A is equal to single dimensional array. I am going to make it. Okay, so I have declared it and then I am going to sort it. Sort of B. I'm going to make it as B. Okay. And then assigning also. Okay. So I have assigned. So, oh, sorry. So if you take SP, it is already been sorted. Correct? So if I want program, normal programming, what you need to do is you have to open a script. Here I have new script. Somebody doesn't have this this version. File, open a file, new script. Okay, something like this. Here directly it will go. So it is whenever programming in MATLAB, you have to start with, I told you, clear all variables in the, when you run it, all variables in the workspace will be clear, so that variables will not disturb you. Clear all, close all. Okay, means all window which is being opened will be cleared out. Okay, and CLC. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare an array. I just copy from here. So this was our matrix. So I'm going to paste here. And now, what is the size? I should find out what the basic logic everybody is familiar with, right? So I'm going to find out the size. Comma n is equal to size of a. Correct? So n will be the number of columns. Okay. So from here, what I'm going to do, for I is equal to 1 colon n minus 1. The same logic. Everybody are familiar with sorting an array. And for j is equal to I plus 1 to 2. For that, this is 1 to n minus 1. The increment is 1. Suppose the increment is 2, 1 colon 2 colon n minus 1, which means that 1, 3, 5, something like this. Okay. So 1 default increment is 1. So 1 colon n minus 1. Here I plus 1 to n. And you can check if a of I is greater than a of, this is basic programming just to make you familiar with loops. That's what I'm trying to do it. Okay. So if a of I is greater than a of j, what we need to do? We need to, so it's one temp variable you assign, and t is equal to a of I. A of I is equal to a of j, and finally a of j is equal to, right? And when you start with a for, you have to end it with end. And when you start with if, you can type else, if, all these things, and a group of nested ifs. Actually, you have to end up with an end. Okay, so now that if is closed, now what you need to do? You have to close the for loop. So, correct? And now you can simply print. You can write display, or even you can simply print this. So now I am going to save this. Okay, so save and run also you can do. Even if you run save, it will ask you where to save. I'm going to tell some position. Yeah, I have online FTP. Here I am going to don't vote, because there is already a function. You will overwrite that function, so that please avoid saving. SOR12 I am going to make it. I have given it name. And then now we were previously in some other folder. Now we have saved the program in another folder. So there is no need of setting path or something. Change folder, colors, finish. Okay. So now let us see. So this is being sorted. So already we have function. Return a factorial. You can try it home. Okay. So the basic programming, the same program only, instead of this, you can write it as a, no, let us see how to write a function. Okay. So I'm going to write a user defined function. Okay. And then I will give you time for questioning. A function. Okay. So let us see, write a function. Okay. So in MATLAB, you should write it with function. Okay. Return variable. Okay. Function return variable. In this case, I'm going to make it as f. Okay. Or even here a. Okay. So a is equal to function name. So what function you are going to do? FAC, okay, FACT 1, 2. Don't give facto, okay, fact is already there, okay. So it will it will not run correctly, okay. So fact 1, 2, okay, of input. You need an input, okay. So N is your input, correct? So now do is if N is less than or equal to 1, what is the thing? F is equal to 1, correct? Else, what you are going to do? 4, I is equal to 1 colon, you can make it 1 colon. Then, what are you going to do? Your returning variable is here, make it as F. Okay, so here I have given it as F, so here also F. So F is equal to here also F into I. So F plus. Okay, so now okay. Now what will be? I have to initialize here also F. So F is equal to 1, and then for 1 colon N or 2 colon N, F is equal to no, this is not correct. F is equal to F plus I. Okay, so correct. I feel it is correct. Okay. Now call from another place. I am going to make another function. So this one you have to save it first. Save as fact 2. Automatically it will be coming like this. So now clear out also. I am going to print B is equal to fact 1, 2 of 5. So let us see whether it works or not. Save in the same folder. That is very, very important. So let us see. So it is 120. So it is worked. So function also you know how to write it. Okay. So and to find an element in an array, you try, say for example, you can very easily say here B is there. Okay, say I'm going to declare an array. Okay, so you can write your own program also, and you can write it as say B is equal to find of, very easy. So find of A equal to which value? Say let us take 1. Okay, so it should return the position. So it is in the 4. 1 is in the which position? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can use all these functions. And then read an image and find its transpose because it is image. So let us finish that one also. So I am copying all these things. So A is equal to I am read of one image. There is a many inbuilt image. I am using cameraman. Okay, so semicolon give it. So you can show the figure also. Okay, image also in a figure window, a separate figure. Okay, if you don't give figure, there will not be a separate figure. I am show is for showing the image in the place, right? And I am going to make it a transpose. Transpose, I told you one operator. What is that? It is a so you can make the second image also. Let us see how the transpose image works. So I'm going to run it, and I have see. Oh, so I have given here A. I have to give here. I should have given it here B. So then only. So this is a normal image, and this is a transpose image. And I told you after digitization how the image will look like. Just go here, double click, you will get it. You can very easily, because of excess other programs today loaded, it is little slow. Okay. So here, the values, okay. Value in the range, this is an 8-bit image. 8-bit image means the values will be in the range 0 to 255. So the pixel in this place corresponds to this value, 156. So that is the color here. You can see here more blacks. When you come here, you can see little down when you come. See here 10, 5, 9, which means that these corresponds to very near the figure to 0. So which is nothing but the black spaces, which is okay. Got the idea? So these areas, correct? So I am winding up this session. Tomorrow onwards, we will study the basic operations. Tomorrow only we will go inside MATLAB, image processing from enhancement operations. And if you have, when we finish a theory, and suddenly we will go for the experiments for that. And likewise, our sessions will be. Okay. Now, if you have any doubts in the today's session, or if you have any suggestions for improvement, you can suggest in the comment box. Okay. Chat box. Okay. So you can, if you have any doubts, you can. And I try my level best to go from the very basics without complicating, without going in a very fast manner or something, to make everybody understanding. The people who are already expert in the field of image processing, please pardon me, because we have to benefit all the people. So that was the motive. If you have doubts, you can type in the chat session. So I am coming to the last of the thing. Okay. I could find that not much doubts are being asked, but keep away and try to do the simple feedback. No, I will send all of you the PPTs. Okay, PPTs surely. Okay, Pooja, surely we will share the PPTs to all of you to practice on that little experiments. You will. Pardon? Next day, okay. Next. Neighbor and adjacent. Neighbor means, I told you, two people may be neighbor. Say for example, currently in my situation, I will tell you, say, normal circumstances, morning 6 o'clock, I will start my, I am 6:30 around, I will wake up, and then something I will make. And then 8 o'clock I will go to my college. Okay. I have neighbor also. Okay. And in the evening 4:30 around I will come, and then I will have a sleep, and then so I will once again come back to the college. No, there is no relationship. And something around 11:30, 12 o'clock, go back home and sleep. So which means that I don't have any other relationship. We are only neighbors. We are not adjacent. Okay. The same way, if the pixel values are same, and if they are neighbors, then we call that both of them are adjacent. Okay, two conditions. The first condition is they only need to be neighbor. Then neighborhood condition. Then adjacency condition, neighborhood condition plus the pixel value from a common space. Say both of them belongs to this set. Here, where me. Please explain about cells. Okay, cells we have already given. Okay, so for you, say to declare a cell, say A is equal to cell of So 1, 3 you want. So 1 is a row. Okay. Comma 3. Right? Okay. So we have created it. Suppose if we give semicolon, it will not be printed. Without semicolon, it will be printed. So we got 3 places. Okay. The first place we can save some number, but using here it is not open bracket. Okay. So or the thing you have to use curling. So here 1, 1. First row, first column. Okay. In the case of array, if you give a of 1, it will not work. Okay. So you can declare a. Say my name. Right? The second case, suppose in the 1, 3rd position, I can make an array. Say is equal to. Finish. You can see here. And here also I can save another thing. Hope I have cleared the thing. Any other thing? 2, 3 means instead of 1, 3, you can make it as 2, 3. Okay, Rajesh Shetty for my answer.
Okay, sir, that's a double representation.
If the quality is correct, surely we will share. Enhancement means it is a process of modifying an image for a specific application, which means suppose if you are going to a salon or even a beauty parlor or something, so what do you do? Or even suppose if you want to take a photograph. Okay, so what do you do? Say by setting or something, what do? You go to the mirror and modify your face so that your face appear better in the photograph. Correct or not? So modifying image for a specific application, which means that the modified image will be much suiting for the application. So that we call it as image enhancement. Restoration means the image is already damaged. We try to recover from it. Pardon? Illumination. Yes, illumination. I told you, image definition. What is the image definition? It is a 2-dimensional light intensity function defined by f of xy into r of xy. So illumination multiplied by a reflectance will give you the pixel value, correct? So both of them are illumination as well as reflectance are dependent. If there is illumination, if there is no illumination, what will happen? Night, there is no illumination. So even if it is a white place which reflect all the light, it will appear as black only. The same way, even if it is black, if you provide full brightness, it will appear as black only because it does not reflect. Mohammed Rahmatullah, thank you. Mohammed Gauss, thank you. Depends upon the problem. Say for example, suppose if your company is specific, okay, but for research, of course, I should tell that it's MATLAB because MATLAB has huge library and of course portability. In the case of Python, say there will be different versions. Okay, so OpenCV versions, and from one OpenCV version, if you program, it will not work in another one. Say, and then entire syntax, everything will be changed. So once you work, you will find. But if you are consistent for yourself, but different people have different tastes, and for me, MATLAB works much better than Python for research, but for publication, all these things, implementation, all these things. But for real-time implementation, maybe Python may be better than MATLAB because it will give you more faster output. Any other questions? So hope everything is okay. And tomorrow, same time we will meet. And thank you for your cooperation. And of course, please do your... okay, so another question, Rajesh Shetty, 1, 3 double. Okay, so double means it's a data structure, data type. Okay, so So first row, third column, the value stored is a double value. Okay, correct? What is the size of that thing? Say here. Here you have 1 cross 3. What is the size of this matrix? B? No. We have given a matrix. What is the size of this matrix? 1 row. How many columns? 1 row, 3 columns. So actually, this is being stored at this place, cell place. So that's it. Can we wind up the session? And thank you. Okay. Okay. What is? When image processing techniques are applied for medical application, we call it as medical image processing. That's all. That's well understood. That's all. Hope you enjoyed the session. And tomorrow we'll directly go for image processing operation with proper examples. Okay. Please give those who didn't register for the course, please make the registration. Today some people have asked for admitting themselves. I tried my level best to admit it. Those who came through that, please go contact the admin to register yourself. And tomorrow, come prepared. No, don't forget. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.